Hello and welcome to episode 30 of our Timberborn Update 6 Folktales playthrough here in cycle 40, day 15. Last time we attempted to get a bunch more of this stuff a little bit better off, and we succeeded a little bit. Some stuff still not so much, but we have plenty still to accomplish, and we should be able to solve a lot more problems today with the help of the spatterdock growing in here to be refined into biofuel, since that place over there is currently really lacking in it. I have a decent amount of catalyst, which is kind of funny because that was in such short supply in the earlier part of the series. But I digress. We have space over here working on making a little bit of a terrain foundation for our large water pump, which some of you claim is not necessary because these bots don't need water. But keep in mind, the biofuel does, and it's going to use every 3 hours 2 units of water, so that's math. I'm not even going to try to attempt to do this, but we do need water. And this will produce, if we go in here, this will produce every hour 15, if it's fully staffed with 3. So we could, in fact, run this with just 1 and be fine, instead of trying to run 1 of these single water pumps, which every hour would only make us 3. I'm pretty sure that's how that math works. This is still going to be more efficient run not to full capacity than just this running full tilt. That's what I'm banking on. At any rate, the dam here still has to go in, and that's going to take a little bit of time because there's not a lot of wood in this district. So we need to figure out some other way of taking care of wood acquisition. We do have some space over here that has a little bit of pine remnants, but it ends up being not really cost effective to get to because we have to build all these stairs. We do, in this district, have a tiny bit of storage for logs, and it's not currently full, so they should be importing it, but I think the very long distance between that district crossing and what's going on over here, or up there I should say, is causing some issues for us. So what I think we're going to have to do is take a look at our storages in here, like this large pile of metal blocks. We're importing a bunch of them to fill this, and I think that's causing some of our issues elsewhere. Not entirely convinced that it's a huge problem, but it probably isn't helping, considering this district only has 71. And while that's not nothing, that's not correct English either, it's not a huge problem to only have 70 in here, but we really should probably be keeping as many of these up here as possible because this mine is supposed to be producing metal. But it's not, because we don't have all the gears yet, we don't have all the treated planks, so honestly everything coming in here is just kind of a mess. And I think probably a big portion of it is just the lack of ability to move things effectively. All that being said, I'm not sure that it's really like a world-ending crisis to have to solve. I think it's just one of those things that takes time. I know how much you guys love hearing me say that, but that's just the way it goes. Other big suggestions, we might as well turbo speed this to get through the night here, but other suggestions that keep showing up a whole lot are just to put a bunch of power connecting all this. Like, I don't think you understand how many resources that's going to take to build. And it's really, I don't think, going to be a net positive in terms of production before we get the rest of this up and running. I think we're probably going to be okay. Because keep in mind, this district crossing is 127 blocks from the district center. Now, that doesn't mean that the distance from, say, this to this is 127. No, obviously not, but it's still, say it's 100 blocks. That's 100 of these power shafts that have to be made. Okay, well, that's not really that big of a problem because it's only one piece of wood. However, we have to cross the chasm, and that means you either follow the terrain or you build bridges. And the bridges take a considerable amount of planks, which we do not have to spare. And I just honestly don't think it's worth it. So we're not going to be doing that. This, for the time being, These 3 large windmills are adequate to run the single centrifuge that we are continuing to operate. When we get to the rest of this, there will have to be other things done, yes. But for right now, I think we are okay. We just need to make sure that we have everything else taken care of. We need to get our bots a little bit better optimized. I know I've been saying that forever, but it really has become kind of a problem. And I have 6 extra ones right now that we could send over to that place over there, but we don't have enough biofuel. So it's kind of one of those things, again, you just have to wait. There's not a shortcut that you can really do for a whole lot of this stuff. It ends up being an issue. So what we will do instead is just evaluate as much of the rest of this as we can, and maybe think about putting in a district crossing between our Beaverburg proper and that place over there. It would not be that difficult to do. We just have to do a little bit of a bridge situation. And that could help us solve our biofuel problem because, well, they're making a bunch of it over here. We still need to be making it over here. Or over there, I suppose, if we're going to keep consistent with the district names. But it's just one of those things. Again, it takes time. I feel like I'm going to get hunted for sport if I keep saying that much, but that really is just what it boils down to. So let's try to figure out a way to get a decent inter-district connection over here. I think probably it's not going to be ideal no matter how you slice it, but coming this way, if we were to just do, you know, just simple bridges to get across here, maybe make something that looks a little bit interesting. Let's bring it along the shoreline here. Then we could probably, if we want to go across in a specific place, I think this is pretty much a consistent distance anyway. 2 3s would in fact do that. So what we'll need to do, just decide exactly where we want to go across, and then just do it. I think probably to go over here is going to make the most sense. So of course to come across here, it's going to be a whole thing because, you know, the vanilla game, you can't just go into the side of the bridge, you have to come in like that. So a little bit of a meandering path, but still something I think is worth doing. Put in this staircase there, and then I'll come in this way, and I think I can do this with a 2x. Yeah, look at that. See, we got natural looking bridges. We still have to have the planks for those, but that's something we're going to have to do anyway, so I think that's okay. Now we have this right here ready to go with a district crossing if we decide how we want this to be laid out. But I think right here is probably going to make the most sense because I can put a tank right here to hold our biofuel for export. So we'll just do that. Set that to obtain. Oh yeah, it's a bad tide, by the way. But that's been so far removed from our problems ever since we got this thing finished. I don't know, like 15 episodes ago. Whenever that was. I don't exactly remember. But we clearly don't need to even pay any mind to that. Now this area over here probably could continue using a little bit of improvement, but it hasn't affected our tree growth, so I don't think we need to be that worried about it. The big question mark at this point is, will this little reservoir that we have the large water pump in be able to supply enough water during droughts and through bad tides, since it's not going to get any more water at that point in time? Because this only flows when this reservoir overflows. So I guess that kind of leads us into a good discussion on a couple other suggestions. One of those being to, instead of the overflow coming always out the back here, have a overflow spillway that comes out the front instead of just this from the reservoir. We're talking about when these water sources are too much for the reservoir, then this water could come out this way. I don't know. I kind of feel like we don't need to worry about it because it just hasn't been a problem yet. But at some point we might need to consider looking into that. Not entirely sure, but let's go ahead and complete our quest here. Just get that directly connected. I probably will also directly connect here at some point, but that is not the priority. The priority here is to have the ability to import biofuel, which, speaking of imports, man, we're just knocking out all the list items all at once. We need to take a look at our distribution here for that place over there. A couple of you guys caught that we were importing food because that's the default stance. We don't need to import any food at all to the purely bot district, so that's going to go completely away. The raw food as well. We are growing our own spatterdock, so that does not need to be a thing. And the rest of this stuff we probably don't need to mess with, because this is all set to, you know, if you need it, we'll take it, but I don't think... Well, we definitely aren't going to need books, I can tell you that much. Or medicine. But I believe everything else should be okay. Now, you'll notice... oh, the maple syrup. I need to check and make sure that wasn't turned off, because I absolutely need that. Yeah. Maple syrup, always import. I'm sorry. But we caught that immediately, so that's not a problem. That's going to prevent them from trying to do dumb stuff. And now all of this food is back on this side of the district crossing for them to come grab. Whether or not it stays here, I don't really care. We have 10,000 food stored up. 19,000. I'm sorry. We have 10,000 in this main district, so I think we're in a pretty good spot. Well, let's go ahead and get rid of that because we can't do anything else with this. Or maybe we could have if I would have kept that guy there. Oh, it just didn't connect because there was... You know... How is it possible that I've been playing this game this long and I still make stupid mistakes like this? Anyway, that was absolutely my fault. We just need to make sure that we can get to the rest of this. Okay, so five of these, two logs apiece. I mean, to build the stairs is... I mean, we get the planks back. Now, for right now, I think I'll just leave it like this. We don't need to worry about the rest of it. I just want to make sure that the rest of this gets taken care of. That is the eventual goal. It's all we can work toward. Plus, they still have to build all the rest of these. Oh, you know what? I forgot to get rid of that tree. But yeah, it's really going to help us to have another connection to another district, because not only do we need to import the biofuel, we also need to import wood. We're probably going to need to import a decent amount of wood too. So that is going to be nice, but they'll take their time getting that built. That's just one of those things that happens. And we can take a look at some of the rest of this. And just the problem with the bots, I know we got a lot of extra bots. They just, for whatever reason, cannot keep up. Like, I've never had a problem, as far as I can remember, I've never had a problem having like 250 bots with 2 sets of factories. So I don't know exactly what's going on here. If it's just a lack of supply for stuff, but it really shouldn't be. Because we're not out of planks. We don't have a lot of planks, but we're not out. And we kind of fixed that, quote-unquote, last time by adding more of these lumber mills. Maybe we need to have more. Oh, these aren't prioritized. Okay. Well, that would probably help. Maybe, just a little bit. But we need to, you know, start actually doing stuff with these bots. I mean, I can't employ them everywhere because not everything is finished yet. So I guess that's kind of a dumb problem to run into. But man, I just for whatever reason, I'm just having a huge problem allocating labor resources that really wasn't a thing in prior series. I don't know. Maybe I've lost my touch. I look at this and I just don't see a reason why it should be that bad. Well, down here we have all of our food stuff has been unautomated to try and save some bot labor for somewhere else, but to be perfectly honest with you, I don't think we need to worry about it anymore. I mean, we don't have a ton of bots, and we will need more over here, but I don't know. It's going to take so long to build the rest of this stuff, I don't think it really matters anyway. So, of course, this can't make anything right now. We don't have storage complete for... Of course, it's planks. We don't have storage complete for the maple syrup, so we can't make catalysts. So this is kind of just wasting time here. This is supposed to be for water, but now it's waiting for gears. Oh, man. See, I was trying to avoid having a tree farm down here, too, because I felt like that would just be way too much. Trying to make these bots do, and the trees take forever to grow. But you know what the saying is. The best time to plant a tree was 10 years ago. The second best time is today, so I guess we might as well do it. Man, we're so limited because of the way the water is set up here. I'm really not going to be able to get away with too much unless we just kind of take over a whole area here. Oh, and it also doesn't help that the forester itself requires logs to be built. Yeah, this scavenger flag is going to go away, and we are going to just replace it. Is it worth bringing this all the way back here just to build a couple more trees? I really don't think it matters. Yeah, I'll just place this thing right here. Why not? So now I can use, well, this isn't irrigated, but I could use it for the purpose of planting trees if I felt so inclined. So what I will do is I will mark all of this stuff for cutting because it is available for cutting. Just as soon as I have a lumberjack permanently over here. And this one right there should take care of that. I don't want to wait 30 days for oak trees. I think it's better for us, and a couple of you mentioned this too, it's better for us to just have trees. Any trees. So I'm going to go with pines. Just plant a bunch of pines because they grow in 12 days. We're not getting the resin from them. So it really doesn't matter if it's a slow thing. Slow thing being the relative pace of acquiring wood, not the growing of wood. It absolutely matters if the growing of wood is slow, which is why we're not doing that. But now that this is all marked for cutting, and I guess I could unmark the rest of this because it doesn't really matter. These are just marked for getting destroyed. At some point when they decide it's time to build the forester, then they will start planting trees. But I think we need to incentivize them to believe that the time to build the forester is now. Especially because some of the rest of this stuff requires planks and treated planks. So if we take care of that, then they will start growing the pine trees, and we'll be able to cut them down inside of, well, 12 days from when they're planted. Yeah, see, look how fast that comes together. The planks are going to be a different story entirely. We already knew that was going to be a thing. But they haven't made their way over here yet, and that's... Oh, because I never connected the path. Yeah, it's my fault. Alright, so now paper is running low, but we're only using the paper to make the punch cards, and... Alright, I did see a couple comments saying that the punch cards are probably not worth doing right now. But let's, like, we get a +1 bonus from the punch cards. So why wouldn't we want to? Why wouldn't we want to? That's a bonus to working speed. It's not a bonus to travel speed. Oh no, this is plus 120%. This is not 120%. It's plus 120. Yeah, we're absolutely keeping those. When we have... Well, we don't have a small amount of bots. We have 167 of them. That's actually quite a lot of bots. But when we are, shall we say, behind still in the amount of bot labor that we should have, every little bit of extra speed counts. And I think that's worth making happen. The other problem we've run into, we just don't have enough planks. I mean, we have some. But I'm not convinced it's quite enough. Keep in mind, we're not only just working to do this, we're trying to ramp up to build the Earth Recultivator, which requires 2,000 treated planks. That's a lot of treated planks. And 1,500 metal, which is a completely different story of that's going to be hard. But we need to have more planks. So, man, I hate to keep adding more and more stuff over here. But I feel like we kind of have to. Like, we're not even using these. We're not using these at all. So, I'm just going to get rid of them. I'm just going to get rid of them. I think that's probably the best thing to do. And instead of this, let's see, I got a 6x1. I know this is going to be so ugly. I'm going to hate it, but I think it's going to be best to just remove this 6x1 and rebuild it one block over than have another one attached to it. Because we need to have another one. Because then if I do... See, if I did this, I could put 3 of these here. 3.5, rather. I think, friends, that's going to be what we need to do. And this, of course, could become a 3. Yeah, you're going to use all the materials you said you already didn't have. It's fine. That's what it's here for. That is the goal and purpose. So, ooh, you know what? If we wanted to be a little sneaky, we could. No, I'll just build 3 more of these things. It's fine. And then I suppose this will work. That needs to be a double. That'll work right there. That's going to keep them busy. But we need more planks. We always need more planks. So I hope that's okay with you guys to get that done. I think it was an important thing for us to do. Meanwhile, back at the ranch, we have trees. And my stupid self did not connect those stairs. So now our one scavenger bot, who currently cannot scavenge anymore because his scavenging area is already fully scavenged, and by scavenged I mean full of garbage, we really can't do much of anything else. But, wait, no, those already have all their scrap metal. Okay, well, in that case, I mean, we're not really hurting for bots to do stuff up here because I paused most of the construction, except the mine. Yeah, this just needs the treated planks, and then this can get going. Yeah, we just need to import more stuff, which I believe is going to require us to do stuff coming into the district crossing. Yeah, okay, we absolutely need... I need to prioritize this. That's what I need to do. Get rid of that. And then we need to put the other levee here so that these spatter dock don't dry out. Because now this is set to supply. This is set to obtain. Prioritize. Again, the water is only for the purpose of making biofuel. They don't need to drink it. That's not going to be a problem. Oh, we have spatter dock now. Cool. All right, so this is now turned on. Except that's making catalyst, which I don't have the maple syrup for, but somehow I have the maple syrup for. Look, all right. I guess it's fine. We're just gonna let this do what it needs to do. But this is operating now, so let's actually check. Yeah, now I can use those extra bots. So that place over there is going to get an upgrade to 25 bot population, which evens out our score, so to speak, for the time being. We still need to put in at least 1 bot in the large water pump. The aquatic farmhouse, I think we're going to be able to get away with only having 1 bot in, so I don't think I need to bring anybody else in at this exact point in time. Yeah, I think we're going to be fine. But I will let them finish this initial harvest so we can have our storage full, and then I'll just go down to 1. Should not be an issue. Just got to get done what we got to get done. So that's taken care of there. Levee goes in here. Hopefully they build that sooner rather than later. And the trees are already grown, or already planted, rather. Yeah, so this bot, 544. We've already made that many bots. We've already made 569. Wow. We still don't have enough bots. So, this needs to be unlocked for bots, and I need to have this set for 1 bot. And then this, I'm just going to go ahead and take down to 1, which means we should, in short order, see that bot. There we go. It shows up there. 445. That's an older one. But we are pumping. It's not going to be a problem to drain this because pretty soon the water is going to be coming out of here anyway, just as soon as that overtops. Maybe we should replace with a sluice gate. I think somebody left a comment to that effect. But I've been trying not to drain this. I don't know, maybe it's just a whole bunch of stuff we don't need to worry about. I'm overthinking everything. That's never happened before. I think now is probably the time to just go ahead and get rid of that. Send that other bot off to work in somewhere. Oh, we still have a vacant job? What is it? Shouldn't really be a vacant job. That's only 1. That's only 1. That's 4 out of 4. Huh. Well, I still have 7 extra bots anyway, so I don't think it's going to be that big of a problem. Yeah, so here comes our water now, discharging from this place. I have to question the merits of completely redirecting this entire thing, because this is going to have bad water. This is bad water proof. There is 0 chance this will ever have bad water coming out of it, barring some sort of catastrophic resetting of the sluice gates in the event that we get an update, but we don't have any idea if or when that's coming. So I think it might seem dumb, and that's perfectly fine if you think that way. That's okay. But I don't want to change this. I think it's okay. I just think we need to be cognizant of how much we are pumping out of here during droughts, because this will eventually dry out. It's just hopefully not going to become an issue, because we're not pumping out of this. And one full high block of water, I'm pretty sure it takes like 20 days to evaporate, unless that's... It's probably different now. It used to be like, well, almost like 28 or something, I think. But before too long, this will flow into here, which will then flow into here. Maybe we should just replace this with sluices while we're ahead. Yeah, you know that's probably the smart thing to do. I will replace this middle one with a sluice gate. Except I can't, because I've got a spatter dock here. Well, it's going to get harvested soon enough, so I'll just unplant it. This can be combined for the time being. But yeah, that is going to be... Can they even get over here? Okay, they still can. This is going to be a good opportunity to put in some sluice gates. And of course, all these logs... I got so many stinking logs, I don't care. Actually, that's a good opportunity. Since we have this here, instead of just, you know, getting rid of them in a rage, I can just build another staircase. They can come grab those logs from up on the other side. Anyway, let's go ahead and set this up. Close above downstream depth. Actually, I can't really do that, because then that's going to... yeah, that's going to actually never close. So... maybe the sluice gate wasn't the right thing to do here. It probably wasn't. In fact, it definitely wasn't. But if I close downstream depth 0.00, that means if there's any water here at all, then it's going to... You know what? Actually... I think it's not going to matter. I think we can just leave this open forever, because we don't need to retain water in here. This is just, you know, the ability to retain water. If we let water continuously flow through here, this basically won't ever be empty. And if we let water continuously flow through here, this won't ever be empty. In theory. So, you know, maybe it's stupid. It probably is. But we might actually have done something good here. Oh. Oh, these trees are... You know how dumb I am? Alright, let's take a moment to consider what I've done here. So this wasn't irrigated. Or it was irrigated, but it wasn't flooded before. And I said, I'm going to plant some trees. And then that's what I did, is I planted trees. I failed to remember that this was a floodplain. Oh man, how did I do that? Okay. So now the problem is I have trees that are flooding. They are, lag, they are 27, 28, however many percent grown. Do I have easy access to... No, because I paused the... Okay. Well... You know, it really probably makes more sense to just tear these trees out and raise the land rather than to try to dynamite something else. So... Oh, this is so dumb. How did I get away with doing this to myself? I guess we're just doing this now. Well, it's like that factory meme where the guy's like, oh, I guess we're making circles now. I guess we're terraforming now. That's what that boils down to. I don't know if this is going to constantly be underwater to the point it's going to kill the trees. So I'm not going to unplant the trees yet. But we do need to prepare for the eventuality of that happening, and I guess that would be part of what's going on here. Can I pre-plant trees on top of land that... No. Okay, that would be too easy, to pre-plant trees on top of the land that does not yet exist. So, see, this is... There's so much water coming through here, I really can't stop it coming through here either. You know, it's... yeah, okay. Mistakes have been made. But what that does mean is we are going to need to turn this back on. And I do have the bots to do it. Man, that is... that's some, like, next level, just complete fumbling of the bag, as the kids say. How are we doing over here? Okay, we're getting very close to having this mine up and running. We're making... Yeah, look at this. We've got plenty of biofuel. We've got Spatterdock coming up to make that. We've got catalyst. We've got maple syrup. Finally, are we going to actually utilize all these maple trees? I think now the question that we're going to have to ask ourselves is, are we ready to actually have power going over here? I think the answer to that question has to be yes. Yeah, I'm going to... yeah, I'll just do this. I'm going to have to bring some dynamite in. We have the extract already. But I did say that I was going to put in gravity batteries behind these. So I think we're going to need to go ahead and get that done. This is going to be a challenge to get back here reliably. So why don't we just, for the time being, cut ourselves a little path here? I think we're going to have to end up doing it eventually, but yeah, doing that is going to allow us to put our gravity batteries in on the back side here, and we are going to have all the stuff connected eventually. We'll get there, don't worry. Yeah, see, every hour we get 5 water. That's still a better deal than getting 3 if we have this. This was worth building. It's worth building, I told you. Well, I don't need to gloat about anything. It's just... I like it when I make a decision that might possibly be stupid and it ends up actually being smart. It makes me feel like I've accomplished something. So, let me have that. You take the wins where you can get them, right? Okay, 181 bots. Is there anything else in here that needs to be automated that we haven't manually unautomated? Okay, the fluid dumps I don't think we really care for. Foresters are fine. Gear workshops are done. Now, the hauling posts probably going to be the last things to be re-automated. The large water pumps, I don't think we need to worry about it right now because we've had no problem meeting our water needs. Lumber mills are done. The lumberjack flags probably don't all need to be... Why is this one... Why is that one prioritized by haulers and none of the others are? We'll get rid of that. Yeah, honestly, this that place up there, or this place up here, I guess, since we're currently in the district, really just has the large water pumps and the hauling posts. And that 2 fluid dumps. I guess we could just go ahead and automate those. Just to cross that off the list. But yeah, we only have 26 beavers working here, so we're really not that far off from having beaver labor fully eliminated. We just need, another 70 bots, but it's not that big of a deal. Not that big of a deal. We're looking good. The plank situation has massively improved, so that's good with the addition of those 3 there. I did turn this back on because we are going to need the terrain. So this is progressing about as well as it reasonably can. Okay, the mine is ready to go. This still cannot get anything. I'm gonna not run the mine for right now because we don't need to. Instead, I think it's time to let these smelters get constructed. I know they don't have any power source yet, but we're gonna get there. We're working on it. We have the ability, if this is going to be a reliably flowing thing, which I kind of don't think it is, we could put in water wheels, but the easiest thing for us to do is going to be to build a couple of windmills back here. In fact, I can go... Actually, this isn't going to be able to directly connect. But probably up on the hill is going to be our easiest thing to do. I don't anticipate that we're going to need more than 2 blocks of metal, or 2 blocks of metal, 2 smelters here. And in fact, we might not even really need that many at all. I think this was just here to make use of the metal that we're making out of this mine. I actually don't remember. But every 1.8 hours, this makes 2 scrap metal, assuming there's 10 bots working in here. And every 4 hours, this turns 2 scrap metal into 1 metal block. So that means every hour, it turns 1 scrap metal into... But 2 of these together would turn 1 scrap metal into math. Half of a block. And I don't know. The point is I'm trying to figure out how to balance this. So every hour, this 1 smelter uses half of a scrap metal. Assuming we have, say, one of these set to scrap metal. This is going... Oh, I forgot about this garbage. Okay, that's a kind of a pain. Every 3.6 hours, it gets us to... You know what? I hate math so much. Oh, this is a mistake building this here. But we're going to need the scrap metal anyway, so it's not like I really had a choice. Just, man. So this is where the scrap metal is going to go. For the time being, it doesn't really matter. This needs to be paused because we can't power it yet. Man, it's a lot to keep up with. So this will go... I guess we'll just do this. And then I was trying to figure out, do I need to put a 3rd one of these in? I don't know. Like, if I do this... Well, this is easier if I just have 9, because that's every 2 hours you get 1 scrap metal. So every 1 hour you get 1 scrap metal. And this, every 1 hour, uses 0.5. So running this with 9 workers is going to give us the same consumption rate, not including the gaps from not having the materials in the building, as 2 of these running at full tilt. And it uses 1 scrap or 1 treated plank and 1 gear every 2 hours. Why is that not what this does at 10 instead of 9? I truthfully could not tell you. I'm also thankful the mute button works. Unless you heard an enormously loud sneeze then, in which case it doesn't work. But I think we're probably fine. So, all that being said, we can very safely start putting in a couple of these windmills up here. I think 2 to start should be good. And then we can have our power come down. Now, a couple people have said, why don't we just build on top of these upward power shafts, because that's now a thing, and I always forget. So, you know, that's what we're going to do. Now, I know this isn't directly connected to the right thing right now, but it's going to be... Wait, I don't need to blow this up. Get out of here. It's all going to make sense, maybe, eventually. Look, I'm trying... I'm trying, man. we are attempting to do our best. That's sometimes about all you can ask for. That needs to be paused because there's no power going to it. So these trees are... Yeah, okay, they're pretty close to dying. Let's go ahead and plant... Come on. Come on. Thank you. Go ahead and plant our pine trees here while we have the chance. This is going to take some time to get there. Day 7, is this going to end up killing these trees? I mean, I don't have any reason to remove them quite yet. I just need to make sure that we are fixing the initial placement mistake here. Man, what a process, huh? What a process we found ourselves in the middle of. Just got to get that taken care of and then keep monitoring what's going on over here. I've got 12 extra bots. Okay. I think it's time to re-automate all of the food stuff down here. So let's do that. Let's try to liberate these other beavers. Re-automate the bakeries. Re-automate. Oh, the builder's hut was... Oh, wow. Okay. So we might actually get most of this in one fell swoop. So now I have minus 16. If we take this back up to... Well, it probably should be 50, but if we go here... That gets us most of this stuff. The hauling post, I guess we could just go ahead and deprioritize just in case. But I'm trying to get all these beavers away from working as much as possible. I think that's a noble goal to strive toward. But we probably, honestly, because of the time this takes to build, we probably need to start thinking about where we're going to put the earth recultivator and let them work on that. Just because it's going to take a really long time, and I don't want it to become a thing where we've basically done everything we want to do, and then we start the earth recultivator, but it takes so long to do it that I have to time lapse like an entire cycle. That would be a complete waste of time. So this is like we did in the Iron Teeth series. This is a very large, 7x7 building that isn't going to fit perfectly even. But it does need to be... Oh, the lag. It needs to be in a place where it can hit all of the beaver housing at once. Once the beavers are, no longer working. So if I were to put, say, right here... Actually, right here probably would not be a terrible place to put it. We could just... Yeah, we could terraform this because there's no water coming out this way. As long as... Check this again. It fits... It doesn't hit... If it gets put here, it does not hit the recreation area over there. But I think it's going to be fine. I think it's going to be fine. It hits the houses and it hits most of the other area. I mean, I could... No, that would miss a couple... Okay, basically, if we're just going to build one of these, which why would you ever build more than one? Except for bragging rights. I guess it's going to have to go here. So, I'm not going to commit to building it yet, but I think this is the best place for it to go. If you disagree, write a comment, let me know why, and if you have an idea for a better place to put it, I'm all ears. Remember, this is a let's play, not a watch me play, so I do try to take you guys and your opinions into consideration as much as I can. So, again, this is where I'm thinking about putting the earth recultivator. If you like it, let me know. If you don't like it, let me know. Moving on. How are we doing over here? Okay, we got a little bit more space to plant spine trees. Working on getting the rest of this done in time. As soon as these trees actually die, then we will get rid of them. But there is a chance that before the 6.2 days are up, we will be in a drought or a bad tide, which will cause this water not to come out here anymore. So we'll see what happens. And they have not done any... Oh, they can't reach this. Okay. Well, that would explain why, because we don't have the stairs built. Wait, hold on. Does this district have... Wait, we have the materials to do this, so what are they building instead? Oh, it's probably all this dirt. Yeah, it's got to be the dirt. Let's prioritize the stairs. Make sure they can actually get into this. Make sure they can actually build the storage for the explosives. And then that's going to be that. Okay. Man, we keep running into all sorts of fun issues trying to optimize what we got going on here. Oh boy. Yeah, we need to get this whole thing connected power-wise before too long. I think we're going to end up having to wrap our power around the back here. But if I'm putting the gravity batteries here, that's not going to work. I'm not going to be able to do that. Oh, and I can't go underneath the mine. Why did I do this to myself? See, this was going to be a smart choice. I mean, I guess I could just route it around the front of these things. And then just come over here. I don't know, man. I try not to be too negative about stuff, but I really like playing the Iron Teeth so much better. It just makes more sense for me. The way that I like to build things. But it's always good to try and force yourself to do stuff that you're not comfortable with, as long as it's a good thing to do. Don't twist this message, okay? You got to take it with the spirit in which it is intended to be received. Getting out of your comfort zone is most of the time, when you're doing the correct and appropriate type of stuff, a good choice to make, even in something like a video game. So that's why we're doing this. Oh man, I just please do not misinterpret what I'm saying as, yes, go make bad choices because that's uncomfortable. Don't do that. make good choices. Be responsible. People care about you. Anyway, moving on. We got 8 extra bots, so we can send some of them over here. I guess down to... Do you want me to rename Beaverburg 17 to this place down here? A couple of you mentioned it, but we've always named the main centers of our first districts Beaverburg, and then the Roman numerals for whatever series number it is. I'm open to renaming just because of the meme implications. I'm open to renaming this to be this place down here. I'm not going to poll it. Just let me know in the comments. You want to see that? If so, then okay. We'll do it, but I just think it's funny. The extent to which everyone bought into the bit so hard with that place up there that they named this district that place over there. I just think that's really funny. Is that lame? Yeah, maybe. But I don't know. I think it's great. I love it when you guys are engaged enough to the point where you can just commit to some stupid garbage humor like this. It's just fun to be dumb sometimes, right? So, what else do we want to do before we finish up today's episode? We haven't really gotten any huge projects started and completed in one episode in a really long time, and that's kind of a hard thing to do once you get past the early game in Timberborn. At least with the style of video that I do where I don't cut stuff out. Now, if I were to go play, 15 hours and condense it down into a 30-minute video, then yeah, I could do anything. But we like doing stuff authentically without taking pieces of it away. Or at least you guys say that's what you like. I'm happy to do whatever. But for us to do what we've been doing, what we're used to doing, and what I presently enjoy doing, we're not always going to get a whole bunch of easily definable goals accomplished every single episode. It's a process, right? It takes time. I keep saying it because it's true. That's just the way it goes. You have to put your head down and just get something accomplished. Even if you can't see some sort of immediate satisfaction, doesn't mean that you're not getting anywhere. Remember, folks, it takes time. It always takes time. So, I got 6 extra bots. That would be enough to automate the pumps, but again, we don't need to yet. In fact, if the pumps were automated, I could probably just have one of them. I don't think it's really that big of an issue. I think I'd rather, instead of automating the hauling post, I think I'd rather just continue automating stuff in this district. So, let's go back down. The district crossings probably need to be automated sooner rather than later, but let's just check. Let's see, fluid dumps. Got one here, and then one up here. I guess that's unavoidable. The gather of flags, the grill. Wait, I didn't automate the grills? I thought I did all this. Then where did the... Okay. Alright, let's just re-automate these. I thought I was in such a good spot into the grist mills. Then what happened to all the bots I brought over? Anyway. So now I got a -7. So let's, man, they chewed these bots up like a... I don't know, something you chew up. Well, that's solved a lot of our problems. Making incremental progress is always good. 3.5 days, and I'm starting to think these trees might die. Because we don't have the drought warning yet. And we might not get it for another couple days. Well, anyway, we can hold on hope, because these guys are now, because we put all this extra land in, these guys are now actually good to go. Just have to make sure we can still reach everything. There is a possibility that even though we put this land in, this forester can't reach down here. We have to be prepared for that. Okay, no, they can still reach that. Okay, so that's working out nicely. This still has not been built, but now we can actually get to it. Yeah, I think it was because of the dirt construction. So that's just the way it's going to be. One of those things that you just have to let happen because it takes such a long time to do. But I'm glad that the forester is actually able to reach over here. I just have to mark that. Oh, of course, it's not finished yet. Okay, so there's a drought warning in 3 days. This is going to die in 3 days. 4.1, 2.0, 3.7. Okay, so we're actually going to save a lot of these trees. But I'll tell you what, I'm going to unplant all of, not that stuff. I'm going to unplant all of these trees because we are going to raise the level, but I want to let them grow. And actually, this is all going to flow out, so these might dry out anyway. Okay, so new problem. How do I have logs? I got 76 logs. You know what? Let's... Oh, I can't even get over here, can I? Is it going to be better to just dam it up here where it can actually reach? I think for our purposes now, yes. So, oh, you know what? I can actually get away with doing... yeah, I can get away with just putting these two right here. No, I can't because that is going to be out of reach. Well, do I dare do it? Do I dare do it? I don't think I do. You know what? We'll just put the platform here. Okay, so this is now our goal for the next 3 days is get this built because this will hold a little bit of water here that could keep the rest of these trees alive while we work on figuring out what we're going to do. Hey, look, the pine trees over here, just in time, have started to be harvestable. So I suppose this could be our last little project for today, just a little band-aid thing. But while we finish this, we'll go ahead and do our end of episode debriefing. Again, like I said, this is Let's Play. It's not a watch me play. I really genuinely do want you guys to be able to impact what we do here. And I think for the most part, we've been able to accomplish that. But if you ever have anything that you are just... It's eating you up, it's killing you, it's whatever, that I have made a mistake doing, or you really, really don't like, please always let me know. I might not do it. I might not change what I'm doing, but I always want to make sure that I'm at least knowing what you guys are seeing and what you are feeling about things, just so I can better inform my own decision-making. And we've done a lot of that stuff. We haven't done everything, but I do always want to know, so please let me know. I really appreciate the support in this series. It's episode 30, and we're still getting... I think within like the first couple days, almost all these videos are getting 4,000 or 5,000 views, which if you asked me, do all my videos within the first couple days get 4,000 or 5,000 views a couple months ago? The answer would be absolutely not. Almost none of them do. But the enthusiasm has been great, and all the new folks that came in because of Update 6 have been a huge part of that, so I really appreciate you being here. Beard Boosters as well, subsidizing all the content, although, like I've said, this series does not need to be subsidized. Almost all of the other ones at this point have ended up really, really benefiting from all of the support that those folks give, so we can justify continuing the series to completion, or at least to a good stopping point, rather than just saying, okay, well, nobody's watching this, so I'm not going to make these videos anymore. I don't want to have to do that. Because it's more fun for me if I can actually finish stuff and have a satisfying conclusion than to just say, okay, well... Nobody watched this, so I can't justify making these videos anymore because the algorithm's going to send me to Timbuktu, or you know what I'm getting to. It is because of the support that we can continue to do this and continue to just do these crazy long deep dives, unedited, where I can put in, I don't know, a 40 or 50 hour playthrough, and people will actually watch all of it. That's amazing. Almost everybody else completely edits their stuff, but I've just never had the need to because people have said, hey, we like it this way. And I like it this way because it means I can keep playing video games and I don't have to spend all my time editing, which is something that I personally appreciate. So I really am glad that you guys are here and that you're putting forth an incredible amount of support and just positive energy into this. It's really fun. So I'm glad we get to keep doing this. There's plenty more coming. Don't worry. Penguins ended yesterday, but we're going to replace that, I think, for the time being with more Roller Coaster Tycoon. Unless the Water Beaver folks manage to stage a mutiny and force me to upload a third Water Beaver episode every week. But we'll be back with the Water Beavers tomorrow in Thursday's episode, back here, of course, on Friday. And then Roller Coaster Tycoon Episode 2, Dynamite Dunes, is coming out on Saturday. That should be a fun one. That was one of my favorite scenarios in the original game, but I digress. Quite enough time has gone by at this point where we can just say, hey, episode's done, go home, it's over, Ferris Bueller, etc. We did get this. We got the dam in place, so there's going to be a little bit of stuff here that is ready to go to keep these trees alive, even though some of these are going to die. It's a sacrifice I'm willing to make. Anyway, that's enough stupid movie references for one day. Have a fantastic rest of your day. Whatever it is you're doing, stay safe, have fun, and we will see you again in the next episode. Take care, friends. Bye-bye.